So it is fucking cold. Really cold. What's this thing?
This is a compass!
I'm Patrick Lancaster, and right now we are near Smithers, British Columbia in Western Canada. In the last days, we've been showing you what has been happening here with the mining industry, the mining exploration industry, and much more. And today we took a helicopter to one of the drilling sites that could possibly be showing a record result of copper with many tons, estimated up to billions of dollars worth of copper under the ground. That's just speculation at this point, but we're showing you what the situation is. And we went in a helicopter, as I said, saw it, took a little tour of the place today, but I wanted to come get in depth, go with the night crew to see the night drilling, the ice night drilling. We're going through the snow, through the forest, and we're going to be showing you what the situation is. Now we're here with the drillers. We're going to talk to them about their job and what's they have to say about the industry here, and then we're going to be showing you the ice night drilling of these core samples.
I'm Tanner Johnson. I work for Apex Diamond Drill. We're Vizsla's project near Huckleberry Mine. The project name is called Thera. 23 up.
And so you guys are going to be night drilling tonight, yeah?
Yeah, we're on night shift, so 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. Something like that.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see the road's not too bad. We took a helicopter over today. Is later the road gonna get kind of harsh?
Only if the weather makes it harsh. The road's really nice now because the grader's obviously done his work today, which is really nice for us. It makes the road really nice until the weather until it snows again or there's wind and it drifts onto the road.
And can you kind of explain what is drilling like? How's the job? Difficult? I mean, you need to train a lot first, or what's involved?
You typically start your career, do 2 weeks to 4 weeks of a position called the fifth man, which is basically a floater. You're fueling up trucks, helping with pumps. That gives you the basic idea of the job. And then you'll spend 2 to 4 years as what we call a helper or offsider or lease hand, and you're basically working directly under a driller, the operator of the drill, and doing all the manual labor. And you do that until you've learned the ins and outs of the drill. Then you'll do a couple weeks learning how to actually operate the drill and start drilling for a really rough first year.
And what's it like working for Vizsla compared to other companies?
Vizsla has excellent communication. It seems to me, just my opinion, as I said earlier, I feel Vizsla is, kind of collecting the better half of people. Like their geologists and their techs and stuff are really easy to work with. There's a lack of drama, which is just super nice. When there's a problem, it's talked about and then solved on both ends. I've yet to find any kind of animosity on their projects, which is really nice. Makes it easy to solve problems.
Great. And what can you say about Thera, this project, compared to other projects you've been on?
This is an excellent project. The ground conditions are easier than some, especially in BC. There's the hole depths that we're drilling are ideal for us because we can hammer off a few really good shifts and then have some slower shifts. They're just at the right depth where we have a couple of slow shifts to ready up for the next move, do light maintenance. It's, from my side of things, this is a pretty ideal project.
And do you think it'll bear fruit, or?
I have absolutely no idea. I don't even know what that core is. Couldn't even tell you the type of rock.
Gotcha. So you basically, you take up the cores and you send it off to the experts to get checked, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So how far is the site from the main city or the main roads?
90 kilometers.
Okay, gotcha. And when we arrive, what's the situation going to be like? How is it going to work with the changeover of positions? Or?
We'll probably meet them on the road because there's not anywhere to turn around at the drill. The road to the drill from the main road here is quite tight, so we shift 10 clicks from the drill, something like that, and then it's different every day. Ideally, you leave them in a position it's two blocked, good to go. That's the ideal situation. They're not going to be that today because I left them with a broke down drill. So they'll have replaced the water pump and fan, and rods will be on deck more than likely. So we'll show up, put them down, put just an obscene amount of vegetable-based grease on there so the bull's not tight, and then we should be good to go.
All right, and how many meters are you at?
510, half a kilometer.
Wow.
That's a pretty normal hole. That was actually target depth, so we're now, everything from here on is bonus.
Nice.
Which is a good sign. If they wanted to continue, that must, I would assume, mean that they're interested to see what's past target depth, which is good. I mean, it should mean that there's, that they wouldn't do that without good reason, so it's got to be a green flag. The difference between a talented driller and a shitty driller can be like 3 times the productivity. Like where one guy might get, a 40 meter shift, another guy on the same day might have gotten 120. So the pay scale for drillers can be wildly different. Like, the talented guys can make, twice as much as the other guys. So it's, and there are companies that they kind of just fire the guys that don't crazily produce. So those companies are the ones, if you want to be in a really high stress environment, there are those companies out there. But I don't think that's the life for most people. I wouldn't want to work like that.
So Apex is not like that, yeah?
No, Apex it's like a family company, Both Kieran and Josh, 2 of the owners, both their kids are helpers for us, Jasper and Mike. Really good guys, And our main focus is definitely on safety, which I know every company says that, but when we have any kind of incident, changes happen. And we don't have major incidents. I'm talking, wow, that could have been bad. We got lucky. We change something every time. And it's not paperwork. It's never paperwork that gets changed. It's something real. So that's really, really cool to see. And they don't ever push for meters. It's always, you get what you get. And then, as a rule, we continue to do better and better as your guys get more experienced. So it's not like meters don't matter, because we wouldn't get jobs if they didn't. But it has to be done safely, and it can't have guys going bald, right? It's just not long term. It's not going to be okay. I feel we strike a very happy medium. Our clients seem to be really happy, so that's how everybody wins.
And how long have you been a driller? Or working?
I started helping in 2017, January of 2017. So what is that? We're 2026 now. So this is year 9 in the field. So year 6, because I helped for 3 years pretty well. So this is year 6. We're on the sticks.
And how long does it actually normally take to get real experience and real talent in the job?
20 years on the sticks. Easy. 5 years of drilling is considered still, you know, you're kind of just not a green driller after 5 years, in my opinion. Like, there's so many different ground types. My experience, for example, is almost entirely in British Columbia. I have almost no experience dealing with pressurized sand, gas pockets, or, you know, the really butter ground like sandstone. So I do well relatively when we are in really nasty faults, ground that looks like kitty litter. Those are where I really shine, because that's where my experience is. And you get good at that by helping. You watch, you know, you'll watch 10 different guys attack the same problem 10 different ways, because everyone's going to do it different. And High Tech, who I started with, they make, you don't ever help the same person twice usually. So you know, they'll have you with a different driller each time, so you see different ways of doing things, and then it kind of gives you a really solid perspective on, well, this guy, when he did this, it worked really well, so I'm going to try that first. And when you go drilling, it can really pay off having seen all that. But I do not nearly as well relative to the people around me when we drill out east or much farther north. But everyone will have their areas.
And you guys are a team of 2 right now, yeah?
Yes, pilot and co-pilot.
And your co-pilot, how much time do you have?
My name is Brody Ehrlich. I have about 3 weeks with this company as a helper.
And is your first time working, first 3 weeks, or do you have?
Yep, first 3 weeks.
Gotcha. All right. And where are you from?
I'm from Smithers, BC.
Ah, right here, basically. Yeah.
Right here.
Okay, cool. And where are you from?
Lumby, southern BC, Kelowna area, Kelowna Vernon. It's a really small village, Lumby.
Nice.
Are you guys not on here, or was that just not funny?
No, I laughed. Like,
We got a journalist with us, so I've tried to keep it a little more tame than normal.
I kind of assumed. Justin says you owe us 6 meters.
You can come take them when I'm at my next top hole. Or we'll just find the box that looks like it fits the best.
The kid.
You guys might as well go by, because I'm gonna stop up here anyway.
Thanks, Derek.
But there's a lot of close calls, like, every day, and I don't want to get stuck and you have to wait and everything. Though I guess it'd be good for your coverage if we had to get towed out by a grader, but it would be embarrassing for me to have that on the internet. Not that it doesn't happen, like, all the time kind of thing, but it just, you can't be afraid of stuff like that or you'll never get anything done.
That's it.
Yeah, when it gets windy, this turn thing will go right, because all the snow blows off the road. This is about as freshly graded as it usually gets. The grader comes by, I think, every day, but you just gotta hope that he went by. He got there before the weather, kind of thing.
And a grader, that's like a snowplow.
It's got 6 tires, and the plow part is in the middle on its belly. So it's a special kind of snowplow, but it doesn't just plow, it also levels the road. So they use it all year, not just in the winter.
Oh, okay. So like down trees and stuff too, huh?
No,
Oh.
I don't. I mean, I'm sure it could if you were creative, but that is not its purpose.
Oh.
I think typically you'd use an excavator or dozer if you wanted to knock over a tree. Have we passed the grader yet, Brody? Did you see it? It's parked up here, so you'll get to see it.
Okay. All right, to give a little frame of reference, today when we came in the helicopter in the previous report, this is where we landed the helicopter. And now we're going to go to one of the drill sites that we were at during the day and see what the difference is between the working during the day and in the night.
Run into one that was napping. I was a kid.
Yeah.
So they're pretty good at hiding. He didn't wake up or fuck off.
So lights on. Your guys are here.
Should be drilling. Rods are on deck. Good. Corbin, go move that fucking hose, please.
So your colleague is still here, or is
No, he's probably back at the hotel.
Uh-huh.
And it looks like things are exactly as I left it, so they just spent all day repairing that water pump.
So it is super fucking slick here. Almost ate shit a couple times, man. Once ate shit. But got protective gear on. Yeah, I'm gonna get some earplugs now. So it looks like you're getting the heating system started. What you doing?
What's up?
What is that?
Just trying to heat this up so it'll move.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Up and froze right there and probably blew all their hose line. When I tell you to, we'll hook it back up, Brody. We're really lucky it didn't just blow off, like very lucky.
The like freezing of the lines, yeah?
Well, just right there, because the heat was all off and fucking the mud tank was frozen. Like there was like 2 inches of 2 centimeters of ice on the fucking mud tank. And I was like, oh shit.
What's the temperature right now?
It's only like minus 15 outside, I think. Hey, Brody, did you see that? So like, as long as these are going, nothing can freeze in here, I don't think. Or if they did, it would take a fucking long time. Like warm, we'll take a heat socket and put it on the generator for a minute or two. I'm gonna go.
Here's a stupid question. Where's the water come from?
A creek.
Ah.
Yeah. And then we've got to measure how much we're pulling out of there and whether or not there's permits and stuff to handle that. But yeah, a creek.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes we drill a hole and create an artificial well. I've never seen that in BC. I've seen it in Saskatchewan.
Do you guys ever, when you're drilling, hit water? And
Oh yeah, we call it, yeah, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Like sometimes it's pretty, like I've seen amounts of water sometimes. I'm gonna have to use a mechanic to plug it off.
So now what's gonna happen?
We're gonna pull the rest of these out of the hole and put a bed on because our bits wore out.
Ah, so you're gonna pull these rods.
Bits. There's a bunch of them down the hole still. We need to get them out. How come your stacks all fucked up? What's going on here? It's just too far. Yeah, they've got to be a perfect square or they'll fall. Brody. Isn't that nice? Yeah. That is too much of a lean, but I don't think you have. That's okay.
So that's like a safety issue, yeah? You're fixing, huh?
Yeah, because they're round. So if they're not perfectly in line, and the drill's going to move slightly, so if they're not perfectly in line, they're going to wiggle into each other and split apart. So the stack's got to be really straight. The first one can't be. So you've got a pipe wrench there to hold that first line. But they don't have to be 100% perfect, but that was pretty out of line there. I'm sure you would have noticed if I think they just pulled these out at the very end.
Ah, that's the bit, yeah? Bit. Diamond bit.
Grab that thing and fucking twist it like 30 times there. This other way. That's all. Yeah, that's all. I think it might be frozen. Fuck, we done that one good. He's fucking done. 0 meters left on him.
That's it.
That's the new one. He's good and clapped out there.
Do you ever lose the hole?
Lose the hole.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess sometimes, but like, it's pretty uncommon.
Okay.
Like, it's the thing though, like sometimes there's just conditions we can't work with.
Okay.
Whether like the ground just isn't stable enough or is moving. Oh!
What's that?
You ever seen the movie Dodgeball?
Dogfall? No.
This Brody, you gotta watch Dodgeball.
Okay. What's this thing?
This is a compass.
Compass.
Apparently, we missed a whole bunch or failed a whole bunch of tests or some shit. So now I've got to redo them on the way back down to the bottom, which is not a big deal at all. Super easy. But the battery's fucking frozen. Is it bent? It's gonna be okay. Just leave that right behind. Yeah, I need another 1.25 inch, partner, or best friend, please. Hang on to her there. Just put this one back on the shelf. Where you got that from? Stick that in the heat soft for a second. Is it cold to the touch? Oh, yeah, just put it right in there.
That's a battery, yeah?
Yeah, they don't usually work when they're too cold.
So it connects to the tablet, yeah?
Yeah, and then every like couple of minutes it takes like a little snapshot of where it is, and then they're kind of synced up in seconds, so you can't connect to it when it's in the hole. But what it does is every 2 minutes it says this is where I am, and it remembers it. And then the tablet goes, okay, well, it took a snapshot of this second, and it knows where it was then. So it's kind of syncs up to this timeline. I guess it's awesome. It's way better than the other kind that uses a like an actual compass, because you can't shoot it in the rods. So you can't shoot it going down. Sometimes you'd be coming out, the hole would collapse on the thing. It was awful.
So this actually goes down in the hole?
Yeah, we're gonna put it in this big thing and it's gonna go in here.
And it goes all the way down?
Go by now. Plug that battery into the battery connector and make sure it's plugged into the power bar there, just in case. Like if we can't get it to work, we can't get it to work. I'm not gonna waste all night. Why is that happening? Patience left for this fucking thing. I don't know how they're gonna look at you got going on here, partner. Like just don't move. Nice. Don't move. Jesus Christ, no wonder your nose is bleeding all the time. Pretty sure that shit's on some level carcinogenic. There. Get this down. Don't let that ball in there and get all nasty. actually approaching the point where it's just worth it to get shit.
So now we're gonna drill?
No, we gotta go back down, put a bunch of grease on. And stop and take the test every now and then. Couple hours, 2.5 hours, we should be drilling. I'd really, really like to get this thing working. It's like, it's kind of important. And it keeps getting not done.
Working.
We're getting there now. Yeah, I think it goes this way, right, Brody? Yeah, lean her up there. Stuff her in. Just tip it up and bang it a couple times there. No. Oh, for fuck's sake! What did you do? Try it. Lay it flat again? Oh yeah, here. Yeah, they getting the fuck out of this thing, eh? Isn't that awesome? I love it when people break my shit. Look at this fucking thing. We're not even gonna be able to get it back together. How the fuck did that even happen? They must have thrown a rod on it, eh? Like, what the fuck? Just hang on, I'll start this so we don't have to fuck with it anymore. And then we'll try and fix that. So we're going to 510. Lay it down a little bit, yeah, right there. Fucking try and thread it in. Yeah, just get threaded in. Oh, fuck me. Alright. Every 10 rods, we're going to, within 2 minutes.
What is that?
What's what?
That thing.
That goes from the pump down the hole. So he's sucking it back up to the swivel there so we can pump and ream because the hole's collapsed a little bit. So we've got to ream it out.
So pump water down there.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Excellent!
Alright, so I'm out here in the truck now. They're just gonna be repeating the same process for the next 2 hours. So I'm gonna have a bite, get a little sleep because I've been going for the last 20 hours. And then when they actually start doing the drilling again, I get in there. All good? Good old beef jerky. Haven't had this in about 6 years. So it is fucking cold. Really cold. Oh, I might just go back and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to catch a nap here. Oh my god. So what's the plan? What happened?
Pulled out of the hole, went to go back in, and it started a new hole. So that's always exciting. We drilled far enough to confirm it is deviating from the old hole. There's solid ground right out of the casing, which is odd. I'm assuming something shifted and the casing kinked. So, which is especially odd because the casing's a solid, 4.5 meters into bedrock. We hit bedrock at about 9 meters, but the casing was still floating down really easy because it's soft, so I could put in a bunch of extra to be safe. Apparently not quite enough, and I don't know how we're going to rectify that, if we're going to start putting in all the way to 21. I'll just let other people make that decision, how they want to stop it. Luckily we're past target depth, and tonight was just a bonus, I think. So hopefully everything's all good. So for now we're going to pretty everything up and try and put them in a situation whether they want to re-drill the hole, because I think it was a good hole. They might want to just keep hole 130-2 or whatever they're going to call this one if it goes. They might want to actually go ahead and drill this, but unfortunately our Wi-Fi broke on day shifts, so 2-hour drive back to camp. It would be really silly to drive back to get confirmation, and I don't think I'm okay to just crush a 60-meter shift without, I'm not the geo. I don't think I can start a new hole like that. So we're going to wait for someone a little higher up the ladder to make that decision, I guess.
Okay.
Scrub.
So we're going to wrap it up, or?
Yeah, we've got to set the drill to recirc, so it's going to pump through the cooler, and then we've got to stay out here to watch water because we can't have it freezing. If it does freeze, we got a motor like, we got to fly like Superman down to the pump and see why it stops, because it'll freeze in 15-20 minutes or so until it's both solid. So we got to stay out, unfortunately, and keep an eye on that.
Okay.
That's her. Not a whole lot else going on. We pulled out. We're going to count, confirm, make sure that that number's accurate. It is wild that it's that far into bedrock. I've never seen that before. It'd be one thing if I skipped on the casing.
And how deep are you?
Right now?
Yeah.
The new hole, we just hit 21. He's emptying the second tube at 21.
All right, it was down to 500, right?
Yeah, 510 is where the previous hole depth is.
Ah, so it just deviated at 20.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, well, it deviated, I think we collapsed. There's some trash here, you can see. So we're not right out of the casing with this. We followed the hole just fine, and it didn't deviate until about 15 meters. So, because this is 18 here, so it didn't deviate right out of the casing. We put in 5 rods before, 4 rods plus the core barrel, before we had to spin. So it didn't deviate right out of the casing. It deviated a little past. I think that whatever this guy is, this is junk, right? Cuttings. I think what happened was this boulder probably rolled. This is probably a really large chunk, and whatever it was, because we weren't tight coming out either. It come out like nothing. So I'm not really sure how to interpret that, because it'd be one thing if it was super tight coming out, would mean that something was rolling, against. I think when we pulled out, it collapsed. When we went back in, it just hit something and bounced. And now I don't think there's any way we're getting back in there. If it was right out of the casing, like if this was 15, making this 12, you know, we'd have the option of pulling one piece of casing off. And that would give us more wiggle room with the barrel to kind of go back and forth and try and treat it almost like a void, I guess, and wiggle back in. I've done that and had it work. There's no way that's going to work here because it fully collapsed, so, which is super unfortunate. But I mean, it was a pretty haggard hole to about 150, so I don't know. I don't think we're going to get away with running 150 meters of casing. That's just going to be way too time consuming. We'll just have to hope that maybe putting in 1 or 2 extra sticks next time prevents that. That's where I'm at. Some better heads might make other decisions or got better ideas. The box is backwards and the core's, so it's not going to be in line, but I'm hoping it's not real core. Like, I don't know if they're going to try and line that or whatever.
So could you tell us again what happened today? How'd the day go? How'd it end?
Oh, no idea. Pulled to change the bit, went back down, bounced off of something a few meters out of the casing and started a new hole. So got to find out whether they want to continue that new hole or just move the drill. The past holes past target depth, so shouldn't be the end of the world, but I think they might want to just drill that second hole since I think the first hole was quite rich. They might want to leave the deviation and just keep going with that other one. So we'll find out.
All right. And has this happened often like this?
No, it's pretty rare. Like, you gotta bounce off some kind of rubble that's fallen in the hole. It's really common if you rush your casing or something like that, but this happened quite a ways out of it and into bedrock. So I think this is like I think I've seen this once before, but I can't remember. It's definitely uncommon. I don't think it's too drastic though.
And so the plan is you ask the geologists what they want to do, or how does that work?
Yeah, I'll tell the foreman what happened, he'll talk to them, and they'll decide whether they want to move the drill, I'm assuming, or just continue advancing and call this the next hole, which they might want to do. That's what the last time we had something similar like this, that's what they wanted to do. And then we ended up wedging on purpose several times in that hole because, I don't know, somebody made a comment about how awesome it was that we bounced like that and were able to get a new hole off that depth, and then floated the idea of like, well, I mean, what we basically did was wedge, and they're like, what is that? You know, because we do this on purpose sometimes as well, but for it to happen naturally like that's pretty uncommon. Typically having your casing in bedrock just stops it altogether.
Alright, so that was a night with the drillers on the Vizsla Copper site. Didn't turn out exactly like we expected, but you know, when you're working in super sub-degree weather, harsh weather, doesn't really often turn out the way you expect with anything. And what is the future of this site going to be? Is it going to be record-breaking like the tests possibly indicate? How things are going to go? We're going to keep you informed in future visits and future information. So I hope you enjoyed us getting even more in-depth, as we do always. So please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to get more information on Vizsla Copper, go down to the description. There are presentations there. So we got a lot more to come. Let's get to it. I'm Patrick Lancaster, and right now we are near Smithers, British Columbia in Western Canada. In the last days, we've been showing you what has been happening here with the mining industry, the mining exploration industry, and much more. And today we took a helicopter to one of the drilling sites that could possibly be showing a record result of copper with many tons, estimated up to billions of dollars worth of copper under the ground. That's just speculation at this point, but we're showing you what the situation is. And we went in a helicopter, as I said, saw it, took a little tour of the place today, but I wanted to come get in depth, go with the night crew to see the night drilling, the ice night drilling. We're going through the snow, through the forest, and we're going to be showing you what the situation is. Now we're here with the drillers. We're going to talk to them about their job and what's they have to say about the industry here, and then we're going to be showing you the ice night drilling of these core samples.